I made birthday cupcakes for every child in the class except the one who made my daughter cry all year. My daughter Cora turned 7 last Tuesday. She's one of those kids who feels everything really deeply, not dramatic about it, just sensitive. She cried when her goldfish died. She cried when she found out Santa isn't real. She sobbed for 2 full days when we had to put our dog down. You know the type. So when she started coming home in tears almost every single afternoon back in September, I paid attention. The kid doing it was named Avery. Same class, assigned to the same reading table for most of the fall. It started small, the way it always does. Avery told Cora her lunchbox was babyish. Then she told the other girls that Cora smelled funny, which wasn't even true. Then it became this thing where whenever Cora tried to sit next to someone at the reading rug, Avery would lean over and whisper something to whoever it was and they'd slide away. Cora told me once she ended up sitting alone at the very edge for the entire lesson and nobody said anything to her. She was 6 years old. By the 3rd time she came home crying before Halloween, I called the school. Mrs. Danforth, her teacher, was sympathetic. Said she'd address it, keep a closer eye on things, and it did get a little better for a few weeks. I thought maybe that was it. Then after winter break, it started up again. Avery told the whole class during show and tell that Cora's drawing looked like a baby made it. Cora had worked on that drawing for 3 days. She'd been so proud of it. I still have it on the fridge. I emailed Mrs. Danforth in January. She replied that they had addressed it. I called again in February. Avery got moved to a different table. By March, the table change didn't matter anymore because Avery had figured out recess. She'd put together this little group of girls who would just walk away whenever Cora came near them. Not run, just walk. Slowly enough that there was nothing technically to report. Cora started asking me if she could eat lunch in the library instead of the cafeteria. My 7-year-old was avoiding the cafeteria to sit alone with books. I went in for a meeting in March. They called Avery's parents in too. Her mom, Dana, sat across from me in this tiny conference room with her arms crossed and said kids will be kids. Then Cora was probably misreading things because Avery was very social, and sometimes that came across the wrong way to children who were more on the shy side. I sat there and nodded and went home and cried in my car in the driveway for 20 minutes before I could go inside and make dinner. So, Cora's birthday is the last week of April. She always wants to bring cupcakes for the class because that's what we did for her kindergarten birthday and she loved it, handing them out herself, one to each kid. I spent all of Saturday making 2 dozen lemon cupcakes with pink buttercream frosting and rainbow sprinkles on top because those were Cora's exact specifications. There are 21 kids in her class. I made 20. The night before, Cora asked me, "Mom, is Avery going to get one?" I told her no. She thought about it for a second, then just said, "Okay," and went back to her show. I don't know what I was expecting from a 7-year-old, but it wasn't that. I packed them up Tuesday morning and drove Cora to school. Mrs. Danforth was at the door doing the morning greeting thing. She saw the container and said, "Oh, how sweet. Did you make enough for everyone?" I said, "I made enough for every child who was kind to my daughter this year." She blinked at me. I smiled, walked Cora to her seat, and left. At pickup, Cora was bouncy. She said Mrs. Danforth handed them out during afternoon snack time. Avery raised her hand and asked where hers was. Mrs. Danforth said there weren't enough for everyone, and just kept moving. Cora said Avery didn't say anything after that. Then Cora said, "Mom, mine was really good." And that was kind of the end of it for her. Dana called at around 6 p.m. She opened with, "I think there may have been a mistake."